Hello students, I welcome you all to the e-learning sessions of LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Myself Hardik Shah and I am here to share my knowledge with you about the subject of automobile engines. Fine, we have already started a new chapter on testing and performance of the IC engine. Fine, and our today's topic in this video is heat balance sheet. Fine, and the method to test the IC engine. Okay, so I hope you will see this video till end to completely understand this topic and gain your skills in automobile engineering. Fine. So now let's start our video. So before moving to the main topic of this video, first let me tell you why we need to test any engine. Okay, why need for performance testing? So an internal combustion engine has become most popular in today's industry, right? Because everything is running on it. Okay, so its application varies from water pumps to power generation, as well as in cars and many automobiles. Fine, and many other mechanical industries are also using it. Okay, so taking into consideration its importance, the engine plays a vital role in industry for one or more, or you can say or other purposes, right? So engine's performance has a direct effect on a various factors in industry, okay, like productivity, profit, time management, finance, thereafter downtime, etc. Okay, so the part on which the engine's outcome is directly concerned are its cylinder head, thereafter piston crankshaft, thereafter camshaft, connecting rod, etc. Okay, so the condition of all these parts is a major source of wear and tear in engine. Okay, so these parts are continuously in rotation, or you can say reciprocation. Okay, so it will come in contact with each other. Fine, so it is actually causing a lot of friction development. Okay, so since these parts are made of various metallic alloys which may result in corrosion and rusting of the engine parts also. Fine, so all the problems cannot be ignored. Okay, and if we ignore it, it actually convert in knocking and indirect result of breakdown of the engine. So what we need? So we need to test the engine before the application, before applying the application. So we need to test it according to different loading condition. Fine, and that's why we are doing this heat balance sheet method for the engine. Okay, so first question that comes in our mind, that what is heat balance sheet? Okay, so I am just telling you one example, like you have 1000 rupees and you are going for shopping. Okay, so from this 1000 rupees you are buying clothes, then accessories, then mobile cover and etc. Okay, so what will you do after the end of shopping? So after end of the shopping, you will actually calculate that I was having 1000 rupees. From that I actually used 500 rupees for clothes, 100 rupees for mobile cover, 100 rupees for phone accessories, right? And the remaining which I have right now is 200-300 rupees. Okay, so you are actually trying to make one type of balance sheet in which there are two types. One is credit part and one is debit part. Okay, in our case in heat balance sheet, what we are doing, we are actually making the same heat balance sheet for the engine in which there are two parts. One is heat supplied and second one is heat rejected, or you can say heat utilization. Okay, and we are actually balancing both of them to find that heat supply is actually used in which type of power or where in an engine. So we can calculate the real source of heat and we can also calculate the real consumption of the heat in an engine. Okay, so let's start. What is the heat balance sheet? So the heat balance itself, in its name is called, it is a balancing of incoming and outgoing heat inside the IC engine. Okay, so let's discuss more about this heat balance sheet. So we can say a heat balance sheet is an account of heat supplied and heat utilization in various ways in a system. So all the necessary information concerning the performance of the engine is actually obtained from this heat balance sheet. Okay, and to count it, we can make one credit side and one debit side, and we can generate this type of sheet for the calculation of the heat coming and going out of the engine. Okay, and it is very easy for us to understand by this method. Okay, so to draw this heat balance sheet for the IC engine, it is actually run at constant load and constant speed. So the indicator diagram is drawn with the help of this diagram, this rest the quantity of the fuel used in a given time and its calorific value, the amount inlet and outlet temperature of the cooling water, and mass of exhaust gases are actually recorded. So these things are recorded. Fine. The heat balance sheet is generally done on second basis or in minute basis, or you can say in hourly basis also. Fine. So now let's see how to do a setup for this type of test. So the engine should be equipped with the suitable loading arrangement to measure the brake power of the engine. Okay. So provisions are made to measure the amount of air which are coming inside. So you can say amount of air intake. Okay. Thereafter amount of fuel consumption, the temperature of cooling water at inlet and outlet in both the conditions. Fine. Thereafter we are also using the temperature of exhaust which is actually going outside the engine. So these are the main testing methods that we will use. Okay. And there is one more question, that why we are using heat balance sheet. So there are basically two reasons. First one, to know an account of heat supplied and heat distribution in various ways in the system. Second one, to analyze the performance of the engine. Fine. So now let's understand the heat balance sheet and how we can calculate the heat balance sheet. Okay. So now let's see this. Okay. So in calculation part, what we are doing, the heat balance is generally done on second or minute, or you can say on hourly basis. Fine. So the heat supply to the engine is only in the form of fuel heat. Okay. And it is actually given by QS, that is MF into CV, where MF is a mass of fuel supplied per minute, or you can say per second, and CV is lower calorific value of the fuel. Okay. The various ways in which the heat is utilized in a system can be different. Okay. Like first one is heat equivalent to brake power, which is going into the power generation, and it is measured in kilowatt or kilojoule per second or minute. Okay. Thereafter heat carried away by the cooling water, that is CPW into MW, TWO minus TWI, where MW is mass of cooling water. Thereafter cooling water jacket has temperature, TWO minus TWI is rising temperature of the water passing through the cooling jacket of the engine, and CPW is specific heat of water. Generally we are taking 4.18. Okay. And it is measured in kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. Thereafter we are using heat carried away by the exhaust gases, that is mg, CPG, TGE minus TA, where mg is mass of the exhaust gas in kilogram per minute or kilogram per second. Thereafter TG, that is temperature of the burnt gases coming out of the engine. Thereafter TA, that is atmospheric temperature, or you can say ambient temperature. Thereafter CPG, special heat, or you can say specific heat of the exhaust gas. Okay. Thereafter we are also calculating the other part, that is a part of heat is lost by convection and radiation as well as due to the leakage of gas. Okay. So the part of power developed inside the engine is also used to run the accessories like lubricating pump, camshaft, thereafter water pump. Okay. And these cannot be measured precisely, and these all the losses are actually counted as unaccounted losses. Fine. So these are the main four things where heat is utilized. So the results of all these above, all these calculations are tabulated in one table format. Okay. And this table is actually known as heat balance sheet. So it is generally practicing to represent the heat distribution as a percentage of the heat supply. So it is easier for us. Okay. So this is also tabulated in the same heat balance sheet in percentage manner. Okay. So this unaccounted heat energy that we have done is actually calculated by the difference between the heat supply and all the heat losses that we can find. Okay. That is the first three losses. Fine. So heat supplied has only one value, and that is heat supplied by the fuel combustion, which covers the whole 100 part of heat supply. Heat utilization, it has four values, that is heat in brake power, heat carried away by the cooling water, heat carried away by the exhaust gases, and rest of unaccounted losses. Okay. These four together meet to form 100% of the heat utilization. Okay. So by balancing both of them, we can understand the utilization of the heat to the power and the other losses. So we can actually improve the performance of the engine. Okay. So what we will do, we will actually tabulate one side at 100%. Thereafter we will do other side, that how much percentage is taken by the brake power, how much percentage is actually taken by this cooling water, thereafter how much percentage of power, or you can say heat, is actually taken by that exhaust gases. Okay. The more the brake power uses, it will be high power or you can say high efficiency engine. The more losses which are actually going out of the engine, that is water power or you can say that cooling water. Thereafter the exhaust gas losses, fine. So we need to reduce all these losses and we need to increase the power consumption in a brake power section. Okay, so the higher percentage of the brake power will show that the engine is actually high efficient, and if the percentage of the brake power is lower, then we can assume that engine is poor. Okay, actually we cannot make it 100%, that brake power cannot be 100% because there is always some losses, that is called frictional power. Fine. In previous video we have seen that there are three types of power: indicated power, brake power and frictional power, right? So what we are actually doing, the brake power cannot be exactly as indicated power because there are many losses, and that losses are actually we are counting as a frictional power. Fine. So what we will do, we will try to make the brake power consumption as much as possible, and we will try to reduce the cooling water and exhaust gases and the other losses which are going out of the engine. So this heat balance sheet, from seeing it we can directly say that engine is good or engine is bad. Okay, from directly percentage. And if you want to know about the hourly basis, then what we will do, we will actually convert all this kilowatt into kilojoule per minute, and if we want to make it minute base, we will make it kilojoule per minute or you can say kilojoule per seconds. Okay, so this is the main thing which we need to do inside the heat balance sheet. Fine. So that's it in today's session. The main part is actually numerical part. Okay, so the numerical will actually explain more about this balance sheet. Okay, so in next lectures we will do some of the numericals of the heat balance sheet, and thereafter we can conclude this topic. Okay, so that's it in today's session. So if you want to know about more, you want to learn more about the automobile engineering, you can subscribe this channel and also like this video so I can make more of these videos. Okay, so I hope you get all the points of this video. Thank you so much and stay tuned.